Alright, I'm Mike Hughes, and today we're going to go over bridling with your horses. Some horses are hard to bridle. They'll hold their heads way up here, or they'll toss their heads or throw it to the side. So we're going to show you how a really easy way of bridling your horse, and she's already gone through some of these cues. So some of the good cues, or some of the cues you'll need to know with your horses that are hard to bridle or just want to put their heads up, is one, I'm never going to have them tied up when I do it. Two, the rein or the lead rope, if I do still have it on them, is going to be just looping over their neck. And a cue, what you're going to want to teach them, you won't put one hand here and just rest one hand on top of her head. And we already taught her this cue, so she's gotten good at it. But one hand here and one hand here, and as soon as she drops her head, you take your hands off. I'm not going to sit here and keep moving my hand around up here or anything. Put one hand here, and I'm just going to rest them. And as soon as she drops her head, my hand, if I'm not pushing down, my hand should stay in midair. If I'm trying to push her down, the more I try to push her down, the higher her head's going to want to go. So don't try to force her head down. It's just one hand here, one hand on her pole, and as soon as she drops her head, then you go ahead and release the pressure. Your hand should stay up there. Now, some horses don't like their outside ear, which would be her right ear in this case, messed with, or when you go over it with the bridle, so we're going to go over that today too. But the next thing you want to do is have her drop her head right there, and then just start going over her ears with your hand like this. You know, especially if they're head shy or ear shy. We have videos on that on our membership site. And the other direction you want to go in is back over ears this way, especially the head and ear shy horse, and we do have videos on that on the membership page. Info or step-by-step with easy to follow methods on head and ear shy horses. So the next thing, after you're really good with that, you're going to want to put their head down and right about here, and I'm going to have my elbow or my shoulder over her neck, but I'm not going to be locked down right here. If I'm locked down and she throws her head, she's going to, I'll get hurt. If I'm not locked down, then my shoulders is going to slide off, and no big deal. We're going to have her right here, and I want to be able to put my hand down here around her nose. I also want to be able to put my thumb in her mouth. If she was to throw her head up, well, there she's trying a little bit. So if she does this, I'm going to go with her until her head comes back down and she's quiet. Right there. Then I'll go ahead and take my thumb out. The reason I put my thumb in the horse's mouth is so the horse will open her mouth and I can actually see where the bit's going in. And I can see where the bit's going into her mouth at. If you're not opening her mouth, then you're going to hit the bit's going to hit their teeth, and it's going to hurt, and they're not going to want the bit back in their mouth. Same thing goes with when a horse's head, they hold their heads way up high, and when you're trying to bridle them, and the bit bumps their teeth and their gums, and it hurts, so they say, "The heck with this, learn what you're doing, because this hurts, and I don't want that darn bit back in my mouth anymore." So the easiest way, again, is to have their heads down right here. I put my hand right here under her mouth, and I put my thumb in her mouth, and she's nice and quiet. All right, so before you go into actually putting the bit in her mouth, you could actually use the lead rope. Now, if the lead rope bumps her teeth or her gums, it's not going to hurt. It's only a piece of rope, cotton rope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over her head like this. I'm going to ask her to lower her head. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to put my thumb in her mouth, and then it's this hand right here that puts the bit in the horse's mouth, and in this case the lead rope. Then it's this ear and this ear. And if she starts putting her head up, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and ask her to put her head back down, and right there, good. And down a little bit further. And then I'll take this ear off, and I'm going to sit here and hold. She doesn't like it. That's fine. If she gets a little pushy towards me, I'm going to put her head back to where I want it and let her go down, and then I'll gently let her spit out the rope. And then I'll have her head go back down again, and then we're going to go ahead and put this back in. Then it's this ear and this ear, and I want her head down lower. So I want it right about in there, and then take this off, this line off, and then go ahead and let her spit it out. So we'll do it one more time, then we'll go to the actual bit. Good. So Jessie is I think she's a thoroughbred cross, and she's a rescue horse. She was abandoned by the prior owners, and then the new owners bought her or got her, and rescued her from the prior owners, and the prior owners were basically letting her starve, and they didn't do her feet in a really long time, just horrific conditions. The prior owner ought to be ashamed of themselves for the condition they left her in, but the new owner got her and brought her back up to health, brought her back up to weight, and she's looking really good. And we need more people like the new owners in this world to take care of horses and rescue them and bring them back. Because even the horses that have been abandoned, I said she wasn't physically abused that I know of anyways, but even abandonment and neglect is just as tough and just as hard mentally on a horse when they go days without eating or without water. And we kind of covered this yesterday with this other horse, Felipe. We're going into the muscle memory of the horse, which we'll leave that for another video. But horses that have been abandoned and neglected go through, not physical abuse, but it could be, mental abuse as well. So, and they don't understand what's going on at all. But at any rate, that's for another video also. So we're going to get back to bridling. So we're going to do this one more time. So we're going to loop this just like this. We're going to come down here. We're going to ask her to drop her head. And now when I put my hand down here like this, it's the bit. My hand's just guiding the bit in. All right, it's this hand right here up between her ears that's going to put the bit in her mouth. So I'm going to open her mouth, and then it's this hand right here that puts the bit in her mouth, and it's this ear, and if this was the bridle, the bit would be in. So then this ear, ask her to drop her head a little bit more, and then you go ahead and let her spit it out. All right, so let's go to the real thing here. Okay, so here's the bridle. All right, got it. Okay, so let's go over some things, even if your horse knows how to bridle real well. A lot of people like putting the reins around the horse's neck and then put the bit in their mouth. Well, that's not really safe for your horse or you or anything else. So if the reins are around the horse's neck and I go to bridle him and the horse takes off, there goes my headset. They're going to take the brit and the headstall along with them, and it's going to get trampled, and the steel bit's going to be banging against your legs. That's really, really unsafe. All right, so you don't want to do it like that. How you want to do it is I've got the reins on my shoulder right here, and everything looks good there. I've got the reins on my shoulder right here, and that's where they should be because they're not around the horse's neck. So they're just around my shoulder, they're out of the way. So I'm gonna hold the bit like this, all right, or the headstall like this. I'm gonna put one hand here. I'm gonna ask her to drop her head. This hand's gonna feed it to this hand. I'm gonna get the bit ready. I'm gonna put it under her, by her mouth. I'm gonna open her mouth with my thumb. This hand slides the bit in. The upper hand right here slides the bit in. And it's this ear, and now the bit is in. So some other common problems people have, and we're just going to take the bit off like this. We're not taking it all the way off. We're going to have her drop her head. Come here. Drop her head. Good. Put your head back over there, please. Okay. There we go. Okay. So some of the more common horse problems is when I take this off like this, I'm gonna have her ears forward. Your head down, thank you. All right, so you don't want to ever smash the horse's ear back when you're putting the bit in, or when you're taking the headstall over the ears. You want to flip their ear forward like that, and then you want to come to this ear and put this ear forward. All right, so if you smash them back and trying to put the bit in, the headstall over the horse's ears, this is really uncomfortable. So what you want to do is bring the ear forward and put it over, and then this ear. That's a lot more comfortable for the horse. And if somebody was continuously smashing this ear back to put the bit in, or to put this part of the headstall over the ear, then that's also going to cause behavior problems after a while, to where the horse isn't going to want the bit in their mouth anymore, because you keep smashing this ear back, and it's really uncomfortable, and it does hurt the horse. So, that's the ways you want to go about bridling your horse, putting the bit in. They should always have their heads down, And even with children, you can get the horse so used to it, you can have their heads right here, so right about here, so that children can actually put the bit in the horse's mouth. All right, so we hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not a member already, subscribe to my membership page. Just go to Google and type in Mike Hughes Horsemanship members page. You'll see the link at the very top of the page on Google. Click on that and then go to the subscribe button. We have so many videos on there helping you out with behavior issues, starting an unbroke horse under saddle, horsemanship, stall vices, and correcting cribbing, weaving, stall walking, stall kicking, pacing, through training. No anti-stall vices like they have for cribbing, like collars, nothing like that at all. Just good training to solve stall vices on your horses, including cribbing, weaving, stall walking. All right, so hope to see you on the members page, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.